skills and to build emotional resilience of people. So this is an online offering that I'm doing. And my mission is to reach 100,000 people in India by the end of August, because we are working in emergency response mode right now. This will continue after COVID also, because emotional resilience is required by all of us, most of us. But right now, my focus is to reach 100,000 people pan-India. And
Wow.
so far, we have reached about 20,000 people.
Wow, that's a
in last
mission, Vibha. Yeah, so this is Vibha. And so she's sharing about her mission to serve 100,000 people in India. And I know Vibha will accomplish it because she has that drive and that zeal and enthusiasm. And she's a yogi. So when you're a yogi, you can accomplish many things in your life. It becomes natural. As you said, you just be when you're a yogi. So there's not much you have to do. Whatever is going to come will come for you to do. You don't have to go searching or you're going here and there. So what is it exactly are you going, you share, but let's just revisit in step by step in regards to the 100,000 people that you want to serve in India.
So it's a cascade approach of 2 levels. So I am personally training online 500 people by the end of July. And I have already trained about 100 in last 1 month. So
Okay.
what is happening, the skills that I am giving them, those skills are so sweet and short and easy to do that they in turn can teach their family members or friends on telephone, over telephone. Because I wanted to keep things simple so that it can easily move to the next level of people and we can reach more and more people with these 3 simple neuroscience-based emotional resilience and anxiety management skills. Because as we all know, this is happening all over. Everybody is going through some kind of stress and anxiety and fear and sense of hopelessness. And my concern, Cicely, has been that if this kind of fear or sense of hopelessness prolongs, which has already prolonged for almost 3 months now, then it can convert into major mental health crisis.
Yes.
And as societies, we are not geared up to handle this kind of mental health crisis. Forget the physical health crisis that we all are facing in our nations. So the idea was I preempted certain things, and that is why on 29th of March, I started this project just within a week of the lockdown when it was announced in our country. Put together a team of volunteers, invested my resources, not at all funded by anybody, completely volunteer driven and led by me. And we have reached 20,000 people already in last 2 months.
Fantastic. And so this is good because this is what I'm trying to do here as in the United States and to make it global is to address mental health. And I've always wanted to do this. I've had this yearning to do something in regards to mental health. So I'm actually working with a mental health professional now, and we're putting together something that we can serve, souls in regards to what's happening, because it's a lot. On a day-to-day basis, they were struggling with mental health. With this compounded, and then we've had the situation that we've had here with George Floyd, and that has really put a pressure on people's minds, and it's caused them a lot of sorrow and all these things. So they need to be able to talk about it. They need to be able to express themselves, and if it means to be marching, protesting, whatever, they need to be able to do that. That's my philosophy in regards to that. One needs to express themselves in whatever way they need to. That's it. We may not like it, but you know what? We've got to deal with it. We've got to accept it. But they have to be able to express themselves. And that's how they express themselves. We've got to allow them to do that.
That's exactly one of my strategies is that unless we let people share what they are feeling without labeling whether it's a negative emotion or a positive emotion, just give them space, allow them to share, express.
Yes.
That's it. Don't try to fix them. We can't do fixing right now, and that is not the purpose also. Even if they are just listened to, I think they will move a step forward in terms of reframing or looking at the situation from a different perspective, or maybe looking at it from solution orientation, that now what to do, how to address, how to come together, how to express solidarity, or how to offer support to each other.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And so those things are important because we're not to judge, not to say why you're doing this. Who are we to say why? One must be able to express and say, okay, someone might say, but there needs to be laws followed and all that. But the law was not followed in that situation. The law is supposed to serve and protect, not to take away a life. And so if you're not following the law as the models, how do you expect others to also follow the law? It's a chain reaction. I mean, you know about karma, Vibha, and karma means action.
Yes.
So if you do something, there's going to be a reaction to that.
Absolutely.
Plain and simple. So Vibha, I love, you've got these wonderful things that you do. And I can't remember the exact words, but in regards to, like, if you're doing a service for somebody, you have some sort of a gratitude exchange. Could you share about that? Because I really love that initiative that you put in place.
Yes. Thank you for asking this, Cicely. And I love your smile when you are asking this question. I mean, I think you really like the idea, which is coming across so beautifully from your facial expressions.
Thank you.
So there are two things intertwined in this concept of gratitude and that this act of service, the philosophy. One is that much before COVID, this is nothing to do with COVID.
Right.
The last almost 6 years, I have been offering Joy Shop, and that is, the Joy Shop is about joy of gratitude. Because I personally have experienced the power of gratitude. And when I say gratitude, I mean conscious practice of gratitude. I do not mean simple words, thank you, without even being mindful of who you are thanking to and what you are thanking for. So I draw clear distinction in that. So these Joy Shops I have been offering globally, and till date, I have offered about, say, 300 plus Joy Shops within India and outside India also, including the United States, Netherlands, Afghanistan, Russia, different parts of the globe, around the globe. Now, the second part is that when I offer this Joy Shop, so otherwise I work as a professional consultant in the field of organization, health and balance, and holistic facilitation and all that. But for this, and which is my paid work, and I have a price tag for all those workshops. But for this Joy Shop, I do not put any price tag. Because first of all, this is one of my purposes in life, to spread the joy of gratitude. So I'm doing self-service by spreading that joy of gratitude and by offering those Joy Shop. That is one. The second is that suppose tomorrow I land up in New York, and you say that, oh, Vibha, I have a group of 20 friends and I want them to experience your Joy Shop. So I said, yes, Cicely, just bring them over a cup of tea in anybody's living room, and I will offer this Joy Shop for about 2 to 3 hours for a batch of 20-25 people. And then you may ask that, Vibha, you are a professional, and how much will be your consulting fee for this? It's a very obvious question. That is how the world works.
Yes.
So my response to you will be that, Cicely, there is no price tag. I offer this Joy Shop in the currency of trust, meaning whatever your heart tells, you offer me that and I will accept that with grace.
I love that.
And you won't believe, Cicely, the third dimension to this is that by doing this, by offering my Joy Shop in this manner, and I offer a couple of other things also in the same manner. Interestingly, the Faith Keeper project training that I'm doing, that I talked about for COVID emotional resilience skills, is also offered in the same currency of trust. So people come, they take the 2-hour online workshop, and after that, whatever they feel like, they offer to me. I have not put any price there because I'm doing seva. I'm doing service through that project also. People are discussing the society. So coming back to this gratitude, currency of trust, that I am taking myself to a different level of complete non-attachment. I'm rising above that. Beautiful. Having said that, I'm strengthening my faith that I live in a universe which is friendly. Period. My needs are being taken care of. I don't have to have any fear. And that is how I've been functioning for the last 5-6 years, offering this. And so much of joy. Every time when the hosts feel so much of joy and I feel so much of joy, the conversation we have around this topic, like both of us are having right now, there's so much of joy. No money can compare to the joy that I get offering that, and the participants get being engaged in that session for 2 hours. And then afterwards, whatever they offer, given their capacity, interest, value that they felt, or what their heart tells, not the mind.
Yes, because you know what, Vibha, it's trust. It's really what I'm hearing is that there's a trust. So you trust in what your faith. So your faith is the thing that provides what it is you needed over the last 6 years, and that's what's happened for me, Vibha. Over the last 7 years, it's been my faith that provides for me. Like you said, whatever I need, I'll get it, and it'll support what. Yes, all the time, I tell you, and it's about faith and trust. And so you don't have to put a price tag on it, because you know by your saver will automatically serve self without you having to do anything, and will serve others. And so then you will get supported. Whatever it is, your needs will be met through the saver that you're doing. So yes, it's beautiful. I just really love that you do that. And you have that smile too, like it makes you so happy. You're joyful about it. It's fantastic. So now, Vibha, whereabouts in India do you live?
Which place you mean?
Which part in India do you live? Yes.
It's a very difficult question to answer, because I am hardly at one location for not more than a week. But legally, I have an address which my passport also carries. So that is very close to New Delhi. That is capital of India. Just an hour's drive.
From New Delhi.
Satellite town just next door New Delhi, which is called Noida.
Okay.
That is where I live.
I probably passed through there because I've been to Delhi, because I've been to India 5 times, I believe. Yeah, this is the only year I didn't go, because my instincts, Vibha, told me no, because I was a keynote speaker in India, in Mumbai, Navi Mumbai. And I said, nope. I said, I'm not going. I said, I don't want to be quarantined. That's the thing that kept coming to me. I don't want to be quarantined. And a good thing I didn't go. And so I delivered the keynote speech via YouTube or whatever. I did it like that. And it was received very well. It was like I was there. And some of the participants had messaged me and said, where are you? I didn't tell them I wasn't coming because I didn't want to. But they said, where are you? They said it was really nice. They felt I was there. They liked what I said. So, but yeah, so I know India very well. That's why I wanted to know exactly where you are in India. And I love India very much. I've always had very good experiences in India. I've not had any problems ever in the whole time that I go there. It's a very lovely place and has welcomed me with warm arms. I can only speak about my experience. I don't know what's going to happen moving forward, but at least I've had the good fortune of being there the 5 times that I've been. So yes, Vibha.
That's so nice to hear from you. And I'm glad that you have had such good experiences being in India. You know, there is a Sanskrit thing that we say for guests. This is called Atiti Devo Bhava, meaning the guests who come to India, they are like divine beings for us.
Guides, right? Yes, yes, deities, like a deity. Yes. Right. Yes, right. It's funny because in my teaching, because I shared with you, I do Raj Yoga meditation. That was in our class yesterday about, yes, so exactly what you're saying, and here you're saying again. So I knew exactly what it was, because that's what was mentioned about when it's like when a guest comes, it becomes like they're a divine being coming to your home, and so you should treat them with that respect and love. And that's what I love about the Indian culture, is there's so many different rituals and beliefs, and it really sort of keeps them on task where they are, and how when they go to the temples. I went to the temples, and how they go in front of the deities and offer the food, and it's just, I think it's very nice. Those rituals are very lovely.
Yes.
Very lovely.
They ground you in certain practices. They, on one hand, they give you certain kind of routine and discipline, and on the other hand, they ground you. That is what I like.
That's important. The discipline and the grounding is certain things you know you should not do based on your teaching in whatever religion or whatever spirituality that you're practicing. You know you wouldn't do things like the Jains, how they live a very, very elevated life. In Raj Yoga, we tend to, yesterday I went for a walk in my neighborhood, and I ran into this lovely lady, And so she was saying, oh, do they sell chicken wings around here? I said, I don't know about chicken wings because I don't eat in any of these places around here. And I said, she said, are you a vegetarian? I said, yes. Actually, I actually have a plant-based diet. I don't do dairy either. And so she said, oh, that's so good. She says, I want to try and be like that. And so because I know with my practice, these are the things that have been laid out in regards to what we should and shouldn't do. And I honor that, because not honor it in regards to blind faith,
Yes.
based on my experience with the honoring and following of that. So I don't do, so I when you say that, I can relate to that. But it was so lovely. She was so nice. She said, I need to do that vegetarian thing. My doctors told me. I said, your doctor told you, so what are you doing? Your doctor told you should be a vegetarian. You're out there looking for chicken wings, you know? So honor it. Honor your body, right? Honor it. Your body is asking for that. So just take the steps and do what's need to be do what needs to be done in order to bring good health for yourself. So in these practices, like you said, like the Jains are very strict with their diet and their practice of non-violence and all that. And we in Raj Yoga also have some of those qualities that certain things we will not do and get engaged in. And it's good because it grounds you and it makes you a human being that's non-violent and all these things. So I'm grateful for the practice. And what do you do, Vibha? Are you in any religion or anything like that?
That's a very interesting question. So my religion is humanity.
Love
and
it.
you won't believe this has been so for the last more than 30 years. Even when I was a young person going out in the world and filling up various forms for various examinations and all. So wherever, I mean, I'm talking of 30 years back, there were certain institutions where I had writing an application and you had to write your religion. I always used to write humanity.
Lovely.
And I follow that till today. So even if you look at my website, the Vibha profile on my website, you will see what my religion is. Even there I have written that my religion is humanity, my caste is blood, because in India people write their second name, which is mostly caste. So I write blood as my caste.
Good.
Yeah,
Very good.
My religion is humanity.
So Vibha, you also do like meditation, mindfulness, that kind of stuff. Talk about what you do, how you implement that in your life and the steps that you do and the presence that you have because of that. So share, please.
So in terms of a particular practice of meditation, I would like to name Vipassana, which is again now in the West that is in a different way known as mindfulness, but anchored in Vipassana only. So I have been doing that as a practice. And then I have integrated mindfulness in my way of being and doing. So initially, yes, it was a conscious practice, but now it has become part of my like default mode, if I can say so.
Yes.
So if I am walking, I will walk mindfully. If I'm eating, I will eat mindfully. When I'm drinking water, I will drink mindfully. Looking at the color of the water, the temperature of water, how it feels, the temperature feels when it is going down my throat and all that.
Beautiful.
And even when I'm on my laptop, I behave very mindfully. And in fact, I have started offering workshop on mindful living also coming from my own experience. So if I have to name one practice, it is Vipassana and then mindfulness. And there have been some other things also in terms of my, you can say, which have contributed to my wisdom, which have given me a tick, yes, 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 in terms of what I believe in practice. And once I refer to some of the faiths and some of the ancient wisdoms, I get a yes, 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 that yes, you are thinking the right way, you are acting the right way.
Me too,
so in that sense, I would name it Advaita, the Vedic way of living, and Advaita.
Okay, Vedic, yes. So, yeah, that's interesting because I remember going to one of these, it could have been the Indian festival actually that was in Valhalla here in New York, because they have all these booths, and they had one that was testing your oxygen and something else. and like your blood pressure. So mine came back always perfect. And it's like, so I said, oh, I do meditation. They said, oh, so you're a yogi. That's why it's like so perfect, you know. And those are the benefits, Vibha, in regards to, like you said, I love how you said you looked at the water, you just see the color of the water, then you see how it's the experience of the water going down in your throat, and then it's quenching your thirst. And same thing with food. If you're eating food, eat it, and how it's going to go and digest in your stomach, and it's going to provide the proper nutrients in your body. This is what we should be doing, and we'll be well if we do these things. I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I do that, but I do try to do that because I know the benefit that you get from just sitting. And so there's no, like you said, I become that meditator, like eating, walking, whatever I'm doing. Even when I'm on the computer, I'm being mindful. And I'm like this, since this lockdown, or as they say here in New York, they called it, what was it, pause. I just have liked being silent. I like just being silent now. Just, and not filling the void where I would say, oh, what can I do now? I'm not doing that. I'm just staying present and silent. And I'm seeing the benefit by just doing that. We want to always be filling up something. If it's not this, it's that. If it's just, I have stopped it in regards to, I just like the silent space and just being mindful and just being with myself and being with the Supreme Being. That's what I'm enjoying. Some people call God, Allah, whatever. But that's what I'm enjoying. So that's what's happened for me in this period since we've had this global lockdown. That's what's happened for me. And so I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, yes.
Just to add to the mindfulness piece, you know, when I eat mindfully or when I drink water mindfully, it's one is that, yes, it is going to help me, my body, in terms of absorbing the nutrients and all that. The other is that neuroscience wise, it is going to help me because we all know what benefits mindfulness gives. The third is that I'm being respectful to that food. I'm being respectful to that water. I'm being respectful to that computer. I'm being respectful to that child with whom I'm having a conversation for next 10 minutes. I mean, I think life, to me, it is about being respectful.
Yeah.
Respectful listener, and do things respectfully. And then as a byproduct, you'll be doing things mindfully.
Exactly. And then it just becomes, you become that mindful person. You become that meditator. So I don't have to sit, even though I have a nice sacred space, my meditation space, but I don't go and sit down in there all the time when I want to meditate. No, I just practice it. I just become it. And so that's why we do open eye meditation, is so that, you know, if I'm cooking, I'm meditating. If I'm speaking to you people, I'm meditating. So it has to be, that's the goal, is to be always in that stage, that state of mindfulness, of meditation, that meditate. And sometimes I get like, I talk and then all of a sudden my voice will go, and I said, I'm getting into that meditation. I got to be mindful because then my voice gets low, then people can't hear me. But sometimes that happens, and it's just a way of, it's another way, and you will, I'm sure you will relate to it. It's another way of protecting the mind for not getting that overload. So it's a technique for that.
In fact, I really like when you talked about silence. I personally have been practicing silence also. It has been almost 8 years now since I started practicing this.
I remember you said that, yeah.
1 week in a day, but it has stretched to about 1 full week. And interestingly, it began with verbal silence, that not talking, but after that, on its own, it became no WhatsApp, no Facebook, no phone calls, and then mental silence also. I mean, I have felt complete sense of stillness within my mind while being awake. It's not that I fell asleep and I felt that. So these are the advantages once you are in this kind of practice and you are aware that you are into this. So it's not that I have read it somewhere and I started copying it as a meditation practice. I have creatively, it has unfolded in my life, or it has been like I have downloaded it from somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
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 I have to say I had that experience just recently where the fan was on in my room, but yet I heard nothing. There was total silence. It was like, I said, wow. It was wonderful. And I realized it because you can miss these things.
Yes.
But I realized afterwards, I said, wait a minute, I'm not hearing the fan. I'm not hearing nothing. Not even my breathing, nothing. Just it was total silence. So I said, I want to practice that some more so I can have that experience. Beautiful experience.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share with the viewers?
So I would like to share my other two projects also, which are in response to COVID very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
One is Faith Keepers that I talked about. The second is Happiness Seekers, which is for the global audience. And so far I have reached about 500 people in last 3 months across the globe through that. And the third is because I also believe immediate action to some people who are at a disadvantage for various reasons in terms of financial status, social status, and
That's
all that.
Important.
So, yeah, so I'm providing them food, especially dry groceries, so that they don't die of hunger. And I can only take care of some few people because there are many other good organizations, there are government programs they are doing, but I think as a concerned citizen, this is another act of seva that
absolutely, Vibha. That seva is important because this is my thing, is that we should not be reliant on the government. We need to be, as you help one, another one needs to help the other, and so on and so forth. And so we shouldn't be waiting for those handouts. We need to be self-sufficient, whether it be growing a little plot of vegetables or fruit or whatever. That's what we need to be doing. There's enough empty space and land for us to do that. All over the world, there's that space. So I like that you're doing that. You're not waiting for the government to hand out. You're saying, I need to get in action. There's people who are hungry. There's people who need to eat. So I'm going to do my part, and it will just, you doing will inspire others to do also.
So in fact, I call it meal sharing. I don't even want to say that I'm donating or giving. I'm just sharing a meal. So it so happened that about 2 months back, I had gone out for my COVID test. I tested negative, but I had all the symptoms, and I was in a very bad physical health about 2 months back. Very bad.
Right.
All the symptoms were there, and it was like there were a couple of days I just felt my body was telling me that I will not survive, whereas my soul, my willpower was telling me, no, you will be able to pull through. You will come out of it. So there was a dance of life and death for 2 days. Very interesting.
I'm laughing because I also had the same experience. My soul was telling me, no, you're not going anywhere. But the body was like, I don't know if I can stick around anymore. But the soul had the strength to say, no. You're, whatever it is, we're going to get through this. So don't think that you're going to pull me in the direction that you want to go into. The soul has that power.
So when I came back from my 5 days of quarantine, while my test report came, so I was quarantined in a government facility. When I was coming back from that, near my apartment, I saw about 40 women and old women and kids sitting on the street. You have come to India, so you can imagine what kind of situation. And they were not beggars, and they were like very dejected, very depressed, and some of them were crying, and some of them were completely lost. So I just rolled my window down and I talked to some of them, what is the problem? Why are you sitting here? So then they told me their story. So that evening when I came back, reached home, I just could not eat my meal. You won't believe. I was just crying, and I just could not swallow. I had prepared my dinner because I was not well and I was nourishing my body. I just could not eat. Then I told myself, these people did not ask me. I told myself that from tomorrow onwards, you are going to feed at least 200 meals every day, cooked meals.
Wow,
How did that
wow.
happen? I had not even thought of that. But that itself will take very long time. So maybe we'll talk about that on some other day. But it was
Yes,
a miracle, the way people showed up. And for one full month, I could run that with my resources and with support of my parents' financial support. And
sure.
later on, some friends have chipped in, and now we have converted that into dry groceries instead of cooked meals. So yeah, so that was another
Mm-hmm.
thing that I wanted to talk about. And I will
Mm-hmm.
strongly encourage and invite your audience to look at my website, which is
Thank
vibhaspace.net.
you. I'm glad you, wait, let me thank you, because that was what I needed to ask you. Please, how can one get in touch with you? Give all your contact. And when we've done this, if you can please put your information in the comment section so that people can get in touch with you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
So
so share what it is.
comments on Facebook or this Zoom?
On when I finish with this, because it's also going to be on your page, I want you to put in the comment section so that
All right.
people can reach out to you. So share where you can share it verbally, but I also want you to write it down in the comment section.
Yes, so I will write down vibhaspace.net is my website. And my invitation to audience is that please check my Joy of Gratitude Joy Shop. And at any moment, if you want to host that for your family, for your friends, for your office teams, for your community, physical or online, I'll be more than happy to do that, because that is how globally I am recruiting gratitude champions. And like, just to give an example, for the last 3 years, people have been hosting me in North Central Washington, in the
Yes.
little town of Wenatchee. And they invite me, host me, and then they organize about 15, 20 joy shops every year. This year also I was
Wow.
in June and
Yeah.
July, but I have postponed that now. So, and I have done this in New York, Ithaca, New Jersey, Baltimore, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, different parts of the US. I have been doing joy shops. So if anybody is interested, because I want that many more people should experience the joy of gratitude. It's such a
Yes.
powerful thing for well-being, for happiness, for feeling more connected and realizing that we all are interconnected. Yes, it is important. It is nice to be independent without forgetting the power of interconnectedness, that my
Mm-hmm.
behavior is impacting somebody else's life. So if I have
Mm-hmm.
that awareness with a sense of gratitude, I think life can be really joyful and worth living. So that is
Right.
my invitation to audience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, is there any other projects that you're doing? Because I know you're quite a few, so just you can share what it is you're doing, because something may connect with what you're saying. So share
Okay.
whatever it is this is the platform for you to share, people. So please do
Thank you.
share.
There's another one which is also related to the gratitude. Is yeah, I will call it a project, but it's a project to do road trips in India. I have been doing road trips, driving my car. Say, for example, I will go on a stretch for 10 days, and I will inform some of the people who know me, or I will announce it on Facebook that I'm crossing through this route. If your educational institution, if your college or school or university wants to host my joy shop, please tell me. So I will include that in my itinerary. And so that is another mode I have been offering my gratitude joy shops in India. And in that process, I do random acts of kindness. And I also do some acts to offset my carbon footprint, because I'm driving a car right now that is, I don't have an electric vehicle. We don't have that kind of infrastructure in India. So I create some kind of carbon footprint when I go on those trips. So I plant saplings in collaboration with schools and children so that I can offset my carbon footprint. So I have integrated 3-4 things in that road trip, which is called Shukriya Safar. And I have an intention to do this globally after 3 years. So this is another invitation. Maybe I will come driving down to New York, crossing Manhattan, and then doing some session with you or some other friends who are there. Going to Utah, going to California, going to San Diego, all these places where I have people who want to host this session. So that is another thing, interesting venture that I have. And I've started living that in India, but I will very soon make it global, maybe after 2-3 years.
It's like a pop-up shop. You know, they have these pop-up shops. So that's how I see it. Like they go somewhere and then all of a sudden there's this shop, right? And then people bring whatever they're selling and stuff like that. So it's like a pop-up shop. And I like that. Like you're just going around and say, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to host it. Will you host my Joy Shop? And it's great. All these wonderful initiatives are important, and it brings people together. It brings some joy and happiness to souls, which is needed. And it brings community together, brings family together. And those things are important. So I like that. All these initiatives that you're doing is bringing people together, bringing as a community together, family together, and sharing some joy and happiness. And we need to do that. And so between your smile and my smile, we can do it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure.
Yes, we can do it.
Add one last thing.
Sure.
One is that a couple of other things that I do, to put it very simply, I offer my services in the field of organization, health, and balance. Because in my view, organization also have some kind of diseases from time to time, which need to be attended to.
Very much so. They have diseases, yes. And explain the diseases, though, Vi. I want you to explain what those diseases are. Not the diseases that we know of, but explain it, Vibha.
There are many toxic elements that are there within organizations through certain kinds of people, through human behavior, and also through some policies. So I help people, I help CEOs and management teams to figure out, and using their collective wisdom, I help them get rid of those diseases, and also help give them a plan which is co-developed so that they can sustain. And then Vibha becomes redundant. Vibha will be there for 2-3 times. After that, they will have enough capacity internally to take care of, to put their organization in a state of balance.
So no attachment, you just do what you got to do and go. And that's how it should be. No long drawn. See, that's what I do in when I do my coaching. Nobody comes back and says, I give them the tools to be able to function in their lives. I don't want anyone attached to me and coming back and saying, no. It means that whatever's been done is not effective. I don't want anyone months, 2 months, years holding up. No. So that's just my opinion. But if they're going on their way and they're able to function on their own, that means I've done what I needed to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And exactly, I also have the same principle. And when they come back for newer project. Some kind of expansion or something else, not for the same disease,
right.
For something growth, or like they have an infant who has taken birth, and now they want that infant to lead a balanced life in the form of a new entity. So for that, they will take my service. My second service is for individual health and balance, which I offer under the banner of my own product, which I called Flow of Life Guide. So I provide guidance. I don't call it coaching, but I call it guidance, which I design, like, you are all deep into this kind of work.
Yeah, so I don't even like the word coaching. It's just that when you say people don't understand, I don't like, because I even call it strategic coaching. Okay. So yes, so not even just coaching. I don't like the word, but it's just the word that people connect to. But but guidance. Yes, exactly.
It is like flow of life guidance.
Flow of life guidance, yes.
We offer to organizations and individuals. So these are also there on my website. So anybody who wants to explore this, they can just drop me an email and I'll be happy to connect and explore that.
I'm so happy that we had this wonderful conversation, really. And I look forward to connecting with you as we move forward. I think we could do some great things together. And with these 2 smiles, how can anybody not be joyful and happy, right? After being, you got double joy here.
Smile to the power 2.
Yes. Smile to the power of 2. Oh my goodness, yes. So
I would love to collaborate and see how we can.
Yes, let's see how we can do something. Since because I know that you've been here and I've been there, so which is good. So we both know the culture in both places, so that would work really well. So yeah, we'll talk more. But anyway, to the viewers, I thank you for watching and to hear what Vibha's doing. She's doing some amazing things globally. So not just in her home country, but globally. And so we can all start with just a thought. And I know this was just a thought for Vibha. And she took that thought and she grew it into many, many branches. So it was a seed, and then it's a tree, which has gone into branches. And so don't be myopic, one direction. It's to be multi-directional so that you can serve yourself and serve others. So I really thank you for your time. And yeah, so this is a global conversation with Cicely G. And today we had Vibha. And so thank you for joining us. And we're going to sign up and say goodbye now. And so I'll see you again soon. Namaste.
Namaste.
Lovely.
Really enjoyed having this
Yes.
meaningful conversation with you, Cicely.
Me too.
Thank you.
Me too. Okay. Let me just end this.